Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I had so much fun in the stream last night that I thought, let's repeat all of our technical issues and woes one more time. So, those who were with us last night would probably know that I was having a bit of trouble with my new PC and the DSLR. Unfortunately, those persist. I ran a bunch of stress tests earlier today, but unfortunately nothing really came of it. I had many hours of stability followed by an immediate crash the moment I got into ACC, so if the camera dies again, I'll probably just can it and you guys can enjoy the screen capture feed, and I'll chat with you as ethereal omen that only exists in your mind. Hey Joey, how you doing? So, we're in ACC. Just gonna set this up so I can see what you guys are up to. Okay, so the plan for today. I was very, very close to getting into the 216s here at Spa, so I wasn't actually intending to do Spa for a while. It's one of my more familiar tracks, if you will. But I got so close to cracking a personal best that I thought, why not load it up again as our man JB, Jensen Button, not James Baldwin, and yeah, see if we can crack it out this time. I'm kind of excited. And I don't know. After I hit that, we'll see. Sky's the limit, really. I could run another race here at Spa, but the problem with that is the AI is kind of too easy, even at 100, which is a problem. I'm Artist, man. Good to see you as always. I'm gonna have to make you moderator of the chat soon. Steven, how you doing, man? I'm doing very well. I hope you're doing well too, and it's good to see you, I guess, for the first time. Marky Lee. Alright, this is always the moment of truth. It's like, what's gonna go wrong this time? That's what I love about streaming. I've got a setup I'm reasonably happy with. It gives me about, I think, two push laps, which is okay. You know, gives me one to throw away and then hopefully do better on the next. Alright.
Go.
Just gonna turn this up for myself for the vibes. Always gotta have the vibes. That way I get to yell at you guys. And you wonder why. Because I'm trying to compete with the sound of my speakers. Vertex, how you doing? Mateus, man, it's my pleasure. I know not many people know this, but I'm actually a mind reader, so you're very welcome. Alrighty, okay. If you insist, FANATEC. Alright, here we go. Bumpiest pit exit ever. Yes, it is FANATEC. You can see all my gear in the description below the video. It's all listed in there. I've got a few FANATEC rims, which I interchange depending on what the occasion calls for. It is nice when you get into a bit of a flow at Spa. And driving it in the McLaren, I'm having so much more fun than I ever did with the Ferrari. Don't tell Ferrari though. They tend to be very vengeful. With that being said, while I'm on my outlap here, how are you guys doing? Where are you checking in from and what time of day is it? I'm always curious about that. Is it late morning, noon time over in Europe? Is it super late time here in Australia? Are you awake at some ungodly hour in the US? That mid-corner stuff, I've got to really learn to preempt it in the Macca. Yeah, I'm aware there's a hot lap mode in ACC, but it's not really what I'm about here. I'm trying to actually get a feel for the car under more common conditions. Like, let's say when I get out of the pits to do a quali on an online server or something like that. I don't really like how the hot lap mode kind of just resets everything lap after lap. That's not really what I'm about. It's more about the experience rather than the pure lap times. Alright. Lap 1. Here we go. Hey, some Melbourneites. a little too aggressive on the inside there at La Source. If you grab that curve too much, it kind of bounces you out in a very weird way. Okay, so the goal here is if I can hit the 216s, I'll be pretty happy. It was alright, actually. As far as Eau Rouge runs go for me in the McLaren, it's about as good as it gets. I need to not read. Need to not read while I go down straights. So I was trying to do a few stress tests earlier today, both to stress test my camera, which I'm sure is going to freeze before long, and also to try using a new software for streaming. Unfortunately, all of those, they went awry. This is not going to be the lap. So unfortunately, nothing has really changed since the last time we did this yesterday. So I'm really just rolling the dice here and hoping for the best. Okay, this is definitely a throwaway lap. But again, hey everyone, thank you for joining us, wherever you might be from. I'm going to check the chat in between qualifying lap bouts. So I've got one more before I'm back in the pits. So I keep it interesting for myself. Hot lap followed by chat. Alright, here we go. Focus. A 218 flat for a terrible lap isn't too bad actually as a starter. Alright, here we go. Let it rev out. Alright, so far so good. Gotta say, those damping forces at Eau Rouge with the DD1 and ACC feel amazing. It feels so damped and heavy. Very cool. Alright. Not quite the way I wanted to hit that. That's cost me a bit, but it's alright. Can probably still make up for it. A lot gentler than I normally take that, but we'll see how that goes. Oh no, too early. Alright, that was definitely the more conservative approach that time. Come on. Not sure what to make of this lap. It's definitely not my best, but it may not be my worst either. Sorry for the silence, guys. I'm just trying to focus a little bit more before I get back to the pits. Bus stop is make or break point, so shift the brake bias back a bit. Not quite what I was after, but a decent warm-up all the same. Alright, see what you guys are up to. Yes, that's the view with the steering wheel removed. 100%. So doing Eau Rouge flat, there's a bit of a trick to it in ACC. You really have to get the line perfect. You got to make sure that on the setup, on the actual Eau Rouge portion rather than Radeon, you cut over that curb and then you create as straight a line as possible for yourself towards Radeon, because you're trying to basically just incise that corner and load the car as little as possible laterally, because it's so loaded with basically with G-force and downforce just kind of pressing you against the ground. You're trying to minimize as much of those forces as you can. And you can grab a little bit of the inside curb with the right car sometimes, but I would advise against really hammering it, because you can have some bad outcomes doing that. Gregory, I've not tried VR and ACC. I hear it's quite slow. Amadis, I'm glad you're looking at it as a glass half full. Good screenshots for Discord, always fun. Okay, yeah, I do agree with you guys. I'm going to see if I can move the camera, because we are going to be in ACC all night, and see if I can get it out of the way of the inputs for you guys. Give me a quick sec. Alright, I've just barely made it work. I can still see the camera. See, the key here is that I need to see myself, not because I'm a narcissist, because I need to see whether the camera is frozen or not. It's apparently a persistent problem for us. So I'm going to get back into this and see if we can get that elusive 216. I may or may not have managed to do this offline already. Maybe, maybe not. Inspired One, thank you so much, man. You know, the more people we can get into sims that they never thought to try, the better, I guess. I'm glad you're entertained above all. So I figure with the camera here, you should still be able to see the readout of, you know, who's in the car, but because I'm not really racing anyone, it shouldn't block the actual standings, so, you know. And, you know, you guys can tell me if my pressures are off as well, so everyone gets to have some fun. See, those pressures are pretty off, so we're going to go back to that garage and heat it back up. I'm going to turn up the volume so I get to yell at you guys a little bit more. Alright. Another 3 laps, here we go. Thank you, always glad to look wonderful, even if it is for a like really brief period of time before you suddenly see me freeze frame on the screen. I think we had a personal best last stream. I think I froze about 8 times. So if we can get less than that, I'll be pretty stoked. Funny, when given a choice, these aren't normally the kind of tracks I opt to race by myself. I tend to prefer the tighter street type circuits like Alton Park and Brands Hatch. I'm a huge fan of both of those, and they probably represent 2 of the tracks I'm quickest on in ACC. Spa is always one I've struggled for pace on. I'm just not that good with the FIA style, really open-ended, open wheeler style tracks, I guess. I find that it's more fun to race here than it is to qualify here, if that makes sense. Oh god. So that's the one most difficult part about ACC for me, is telling when the car is going to snap mid-corner and how to correct for it without over-snapping in the other direction. I'm still learning. Hopefully the tyres will be up to temp. Yeah, they're pretty good actually. So we can get a good lap out of this, hopefully. A good setup. Grabbing a bit of that sausage curb isn't good. Alright. Here we go. came out a bit too shallow, so that's cost me a bit of time. I should have kind of hooked it in and come out slightly differently out of the source there. That's okay. We'll try and make do. So there you go. That's Eau Rouge flat in a McLaren. It's not too hard. Just got to get the line right. If you're struggling with it, just try and memorize the line that I'm taking. At least on the takes where I don't crash horribly. Mr. Jen, how you doing? Oh my god. Okay, that I've not experienced that before. The car completely lost grip then. Over that curb. That was really unusual. It's alright, not too bad. This game really doesn't like the mid-corner corrections. Okay, definitely not going to be our lap. That's okay. Maybe the brake bias this far back just didn't work for me. All right. It's a little bit better. That was the old almost track limits line. Come on. Oh man. Evan, what are you doing? Seriously, those mid-corner drifts, it's not really what cars do. That's a shame. So we were headed for the low 217s at one point. That was pretty good. I was pretty happy with that before the old nebulous mid-corner thing struck again. It's very hard to see that coming, for me anyway. I've yet to work out how ACC telegraphs that behavior. Because there's little lateral information, so I'm gonna have to work out a way to preempt that in the future. Now, unfortunately, that's the lap. So it could have been in the low 217s. That wasn't too bad. What are you struggling with, No Soup? 217s aren't too bad, especially if you're doing like a cold day like I am. It's not, you know, not that bad. You reckon the pressures are a bit high, huh? Chris, what rig am I using? So this is a Next Level Racing GT Track cockpit. I've got a FANATEC what's the order of the words? It's a FANATEC Podium F1 racing wheel, I think what it is. It's essentially the PlayStation compatible DD1 with the Formula V2 that comes bundled with it, with the advanced paddle module shifters. So it's like their granddaddy unit. It's very, very good. I'd recommend it. So 27.7 is ideal. Is that only for the McLarens, guys, or is that just for like what, the 2020 BOP, or is it for the British GT BOP, or just, or rather than BOP, I mean the tires that come with those championships? Alright guys, we've got 3 clicks lower on the PSI, so we'll see how we go. What's funny is because 28 PSI was ideal not that long ago on this title, so that's changed. I mean, I used to think that was optimal, because it overcame the rolling resistance, so the car actually moved quicker. So if I manage to get into the 216s, I'm going to be pretty happy to move on to doing a nice, maybe half-hour race, mixed class GT3s and GT4s again. I'm going to see if I can start at the end of the field and just make my way through everyone, if fate will allow. Okay, well that's good to know about the PSIs, guys. I'm glad I moved the DSLR feed so that you could tell me. It's funny how this kind of stuff keeps changing. Just as you think you know you've got your information down, they do a BOP update and it's like, nope. All out the window now. I'm already getting less of that mid-corner thing, but that could be because the tires aren't up to temp. It seems a little more grippy already. That's about 3 clicks down across the board, so we'll see how we go. I'm curious if it helps. I know tire pressures are a pretty big sticking point in this title. Hooked it in a little bit more than I intended there. A little shallow, little shallow. Yep, invalidated. So that's what happens when you turn in too early to the right there. You need to come in on the ideal line in order to be able to do it flat out without doing track limits or spinning out or something. Has to be a really, really idyllic line to do Eau Rouge flat out. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna see if I could go full aggro through there. Oh, wow. Car seems to hook in a lot more easily now. No. These are not the droids I'm looking for. So I moved in too early there. What? What was that? Okay, the fact that I'm still on parity with my best time, even after that abysmal lap, it gives me confidence that this might be the way to go. Still, I think you guys might suggest that the pressures are still too high, especially at the fronts. Let me know when I take a break after the next lap, actually. Take some notes for me, guys. I can't look everywhere all at once. Alright. Get a good exit. Here we go. This is a little bit better. I'm not doing La Source that terribly this time. I think it's the rest of the track that I'm failing on. Alrighty. There we are. Flato Auto. Wowee. All right, we've got 216 on the Delta. Come on. It keeps understeering as soon as I get on the power. No. Cost me about a tenth there. Oh no, I missed it. I missed the curb. Ah, there goes another tenth. Well, we got closer than before, guys. Let me know about the pressures in the comments. So close. Trying a bit of a different line through there. Wait, are we gonna get... Did I get... Oh, yes, I got it at the bus stop. Alright, I'll take it. Woo! Alright. Let's watch some replays. Damn. Okay, that's a good start to a stream for once. And the camera hasn't even locked up yet. That's awesome. So with the tires being cold, they're always going to be cold because it's like 13 degrees. You can't really get them up into temp. It doesn't really matter what the pressures are. They're just not going to get warm. Sergeant Wombat, always back with a bang, man. Thank you so much for the tenner. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Mateus, I think I've got pace for about like a mid 216 if I actually drive correctly for once. I'd be pretty happy with that personally. Neil, how you doing? 215 now. See, that's a level I know I'm not capable of. Oh good, the notifications are working. I'm always concerned that they might not be. Thanks again, Sergeant. You are the man. Hope I got you at a better time. Hope you don't have to stay up into the, graveyard hours to see the rest of this. Yeah, I don't, honestly, with 215, like, I can't even fathom how you would get 215. I can't even imagine the level of perfection that would require in the lap, so I'd probably have to be running the bare minimum force feedback to not get any undesirable forces. I would probably need to min-max the setup in every conceivable way. But I might actually try. I'm kind of curious whether I can lower the rear wing and make the car quicker on the straights, or whether that's going to backfire on me. So I'm going to try and do that now. It looks nice to see it there, 216.9. I know that's like laughable for a lot of people, but for me, that's like, yeah. I've never really been in the 216s in ACC at Spa. In our factor, I've been in like the 214s or something ridiculous like that, but totally different driving style. Why not? Let's just lower the car more. What could go wrong? All right, rear ducts to 1. Let's do it. D-Mark, man, congrats on getting under 220. There's a bunch of different breakpoints that you'll get to with your driving. Getting beneath 220 is like one of the first hurdles that you overcome. Then you'll get to like 218, and 218 is like the regular lapping pace under regular conditions. Once you lock that down, then you can start getting into alien territory, you know, whatever you want to consider alien territory. I consider anybody that can do beneath 218s consistently kind of knows what's going on more or less. They may not be esports grade, but they generally know the ins and outs of the track and the car and the brake markers and, you know, their throttle technique and their trail braking technique. So there's a lot of things that interplay. Don't try to rush it. See you, Sergeant. Thank you for dropping in, mate. Really appreciate it. Always brighten up the chat. Yeah, so this is going to be a horrible setup, guys. I'm probably going to bottom out at Eau Rouge and just spin. But I'm curious. I sometimes like to push the car into these areas to see whether there's any time to be gained going in that direction. Yeah, so Thomas is correct. If you're consistently at 218, you're going to win most public lobbies. Most people aren't capable of getting that kind of pace consistently. So I would say aim for the consistency before anything else. Getting the little ins and outs and the tricks to pull the extra seconds out of that. It can help to be showy for qualifications, but it's not really going to help you for, you know, an hour or 2 hours or 6 hour races. Heck, it's definitely not going to help you for 24-hour races. Just really good prayer is going to help you for 24-hour races more than anything. All right. This is going to be an abysmal disaster, but I'm just going to try it anyway, because why not? Whew. All right, Spa. Let's do it. It's a shame this game doesn't have the Nordschleife. I miss the Nordschleife, but until they sort out the physics, I feel remiss driving it in R-Factor. So here I am. Maybe I should do the Nürburgring GP though. See if I can get back to that mid to low 150 pace. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. It's very interesting. It doesn't feel as horrible as I expected. Had a feeling it might do that there. That's the lack of the rear wing effect, and probably the car jumping up too high on the rear. So I may need to lower the ride height on the rear, or, you know, bring it back up on the front to not be a moron. But all the additional rake is probably going to help me turn in at high speed. Yep, all the additional rake is going to help me turn in at high speed 100%. Yep, now we're getting into the aggro setups. Oh man. She wants to rotate. Camera hasn't frozen yet. How weird is that? Maybe it's going to be one of those good nights. But I don't want to risk optimism. Alright, so far so good. Alright, so far so good again. How's Eau Rouge gonna go? We're gonna bottom out. We're gonna bottom out. Oh. Wow. I mean, that was my bad. That was because I got scared and I turned in early. But the car actually handled it okay. So this kind of a height might actually work if you're just going for like one shot qualifying. You don't care if you've been in the car. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, that's definitely bad. Bottom out over that curb. Alright, don't spin on me. I'm trying to be so gentle with it to not spin. Come on. Okay, that's a lot better than last time. Ah. Come on. Can you tell I'm a little tense, guys? Come on. I can see how the rest of the tense are mostly down to the setup though, hey? I mean, and, you know, personal consistency, of course. PB. Alright, I got enough fuel for one more lap. We're gonna do it. That's the personal all-time best, guys. Oh, I'm stoked. Almost in the mid-216s. Finally it's come together. All it took was for ACC to gradually begin driving more like, oh, I bottomed out so bad. Okay, so that's the drawback to lowering the front right height. There's a little divot that you hook into, and the car just gets spat out, and yeah, understeers out, so invalid lap, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Full send, let's go. Alright, can't go over that curb this time. Man, she wants to rotate. Maximum aggression there. Oh no, not the mid-corner stuff. Not the mid-corner stuff, please. Being a bit more generous with the track limits this time. No, not quite. Not quite. Oh man, the car's just driving weird now. I think I've burnt up the rears. Yeah, it's like 28.3, so she's done. I don't know what to make of this, to be honest. I don't know what to save this setup as. I don't know if it's the setup I actually want to use in the future. Okay. Shifting too late. I don't know about that. I've generally been told that it likes to rev out, but perhaps I'm wrong. Yeah, the colder the faster, guys. In case some of you aren't that familiar with ACC and don't know that, essentially the lower the temperatures, the quicker your lap times are going to be for any given performance. I found that out just myself through doing a lot of hot lapping stuff. I don't know what conditions most of the online alien guys do their laps at, but generally speaking, when I encounter people in normal conditions, their lap times seem a lot less outlandish most of the time. Most of the time, not all the time. Piotr, I don't know. I mean, it's not 4 a.m. yet, but I'll let you know when it ticks over, whether I'm addicted. Hopefully by then I would have at least changed track, if not car. Cool, thanks guys. I had a feeling that I was shifting correctly. I mean, I've done a few tests where I've shifted earlier and it just didn't make any sense. So I let the Macca rev out to about, 7,600, 7,700? Something like that, whatever it is. Just before it starts banging off the limiter. So the thing with the colder air is you get more air. It's more condensed. It doesn't expand as much, so you get more of it through the engine and you make more power. So anybody that's owned a turbocharged car in real life knows that. So when it gets about 20 degrees colder here in Melbourne, it literally feels like I have 50 more horsepower. It may not be that drastic, obviously, but it's a substantial boost in horsepower. So that's what you're playing off here. The drawback is, of course, that you can't get your tires up to temp, but it still is offset by the fact that you're making so much more power with the car itself. Test is what I call the setups that I know are going to murder me in a full race. So just so you guys know. What do you guys think about the bump stop range at the fronts? I know Aris likes to have the front suspension bouncing off the bump stops constantly. Allegedly, that's how the race engineers have actual GT3s set up, but is one, like, overly aggressive? You know, should I bring it back up to 3, 5, something like that, let the car actually roll a little bit in the front? Alien times are mid-16s on a 22 to 30 degree track. That's pretty good. I mean, it's beyond my grasp right now, but it's more attainable than I would have thought like a year ago, you know? So it kind of shows if you inch towards it, it starts to make more and more sense. All right. Okay, cool. So we're keeping the bump stop stiff on the front. Cool. It's one of the annoying things about these sims, isn't it? You kind of spend half your time being a race engineer as well as a driver. They're two completely different hemispheres of your brain. Whoa, okay. Sure. Let's go with that. It's funny how a millimeter higher on the front is just like all the difference. The car's balance is actually surprisingly okay. It may be better off with the lower wing here. That seesawing at the wheel thing. All right. Here we go. Oh man, nah, just bottomed out again. But that time it was getting is crazy. Yeah, if you're hooking that line incorrectly on the McLaren, it's just game over. It's a shame. It hates that mid-corner loss of grip. The moment you go into that mode, the moment you go into that slip, you start to lose lap time. From what I've seen from the countless onboards in real life, this game seems to be too unkind to traction loss. I mean, obviously, if you lose traction, it's not going to be a great thing for your lap times, but you see drivers just correct for it all the time in real life. And this is on the fastest hot laps. Really doesn't like you driving with that kind of rearward slip. It's one of the things that kind of kept me away from it for so long. Still, the time is quite decent considering how much I butchered the lap. Alright. It'd be so wonderful if I can just start lapping in the 216s consistently. I'm so used to feathering the throttle coming out of the source, but because in R-Factor you just spin out there. But I think in this title you can literally just lean on the TC. Come on. Yes. Oh my god, how did I gain that much time through? It must have been because I bottomed out so much with the 1 millimeter lower ride height last time. So I can do mid 216s. I mean, you know, it's possible, but, you know, possible and, you know, having it done are two very different things. Oh, no! Oh, come on! How's that track limits, man? Oh, and there's that mid-corner thing. And there goes our potentially wonderful lap, guys. So I feel pretty good about that, actually. That means if I get my stuff together, I can get into the 216s fairly consistently. The mid-216s, rather. Such a shame. It was like 3/10 up. That was awesome. Starting to get a bit of a sweat on, actually. Okay, well, I mean, if I'm consistently getting in the 216s now, what's there to complain about? So I think having the rear wing dropped in the rear was a good move. Also, the brake ducts being closed up. Yeah, Thomas, you need to really turn in aggressively into Radeon. I don't know if that's something you have to do in real life or not, but in this title, you've got to fight against that high damping force, especially if you have a direct drive base. You're really putting some strength into that turn. It's probably one of the most visceral parts of sim racing, going through Eau Rouge in ACC. I kind of like it for that. I like how people always point out the coil whine noise in the pits. I kind of like it. It's almost comforting to me. I could sleep to that. Giannis, how you doing? So as the time moves along in the game, it's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. So you're watching the track temp go up to 15 degrees. So I'm thinking that right now, technically the car's going to start going slower and slower and slower, but the fact that we're getting faster and faster and faster is a good sign. It means the setup is getting closer, and hopefully I'm kind of locking in with the 720S a bit more. What I might do is I'm going to do a 25-minute race again with GT4s and GT3s, which is going to be super fun. My camera hasn't frozen yet. How awesome is that? If I recall correctly, it's about 50 liters, maybe 47 liters for that. I'm going to try 50 just to be safe. Give myself a bit of a handicap. Okay, maximum AI, 50% aggression, because if you go maximum aggression, they just spin you out constantly, so it's not a good time. Just reading the chat briefly. Like to take some time out. Should probably take some time out and drink my concoction here. Totally forgot about it, guys. Creatine, late at night. Food of champions. Valentin, yeah, my camera should still be freezing all the time, except it hasn't yet, so count my blessings for now, right? Angelo K-Alarm is one of my lesser driven tracks. I like it quite a lot, by the way. I've never really dedicated a lot of time to it, so unfortunately I can't give you much advice there. I wouldn't even know what cars are particularly fast there. I would have thought AMG isn't that powerful there, is it? It's McLaren's really strong there, isn't it? Or was that at Silverstone? I feel like the McLaren is a good pick for a lot of the tracks that aren't very bumpy. Oh, so, the brake ducts, guys, I've got them set to 2 at the front and 1 at the rear. For a full race, you reckon I should open them up a little bit more so I don't get fade? I think so. Maybe 3 and 2. Black Flags, how you doing? Almeida, you know, if you're lapping consistently in the 144s at Imola, like we were talking about before, if you get a 218 consistently at Spa, you're going to win most public lobbies. If you can get 144s consistently in most public lobbies at Imola, you're going to do pretty good. I think the quickest I ever managed there was only like a 141. I don't think I ever got into the 140s. So it's pretty rough. It's, you know, it's hard. I know the aliens were doing like 139, high 139 at one point, and it's like, what? So I started with the aggressive default, John, and I started building my own from there. Zomat, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm trying a few different stream settings tonight. I'm actually using YouTube's recommended ingestion settings. So the audio quality is only 128 kbps, which breaks my heart as a sound engineer. I used to be sending it out at 320 kbps, which to me is still not acceptable for music listening, but I digress. I'm not going to bore you with my audiophilic ponderings. This is going to be a 25-minute race, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in the right spot, that I'm hydrated. Thomas, that's not why it's freezing. It's a well-known issue with the AMD chipset. What is it, the 500 series or the 5000 series or whatever. The one that the 5950X runs on. So they've started issuing a fix out to all the motherboard manufacturers, and they're starting to issue out that fix through BIOS updates over the coming month. Mine has yet to get it though, unfortunately. Asus don't seem to be too fast in the uptake. In terms of the video quality, so I'm streaming at 1440p, as you can probably tell. I'm sending out at 17,000 kbps. And I just use recommended YouTube settings. So you can find that on Google support. They actually give you all the settings they want you to run. Or you can look up NVIDIA's NVENC guide for OBS. They'll tell you exactly what settings you should be running for streaming. Things like CBR, 2-second keyframes, all that fun stuff. So they're going to tell you how to populate that entire list. It's pretty straightforward after you get it once. All right, Sis. I hope this is enough fuel. I really do. So my GPU is a 3080 GTX NVIDIA. You would love how I had to get that. I had to order it from New Zealand. It was disgusting. It was so bad. I paid more for that video card than I've paid for whole PCs in the past. Same thing with the CPU. It's a horrible time for buying hardware right now. So I don't know about 4.2 litres a lap in the McLaren. For me, it's normally closer to 3.8 with my driving. Hart, thank you so much, man. I'm glad I earned your sub. I hope you're not disappointed in the future as I start pushing out some more regular content. Thanks for joining us. Magilla, good to see you again. $10 donation for the win. All right, you guys heard it here. I'm going for it. With really cold tires. Oh no. What have I done to myself? $10 donation for the win, or I'll take a $2 donation in case the camera freezes. It'd be like a pity donation. I'm sure we can all get behind that. Also to remind you guys, I have set the channel memberships live, so I don't know if any of the members have popped into the stream yet, but just the other day, I did enable that, so perks for members. If those are up your alley, do look into it. If not, you're still more than welcome. Hope you guys enjoy my pathetic race as I try and work out what I'm doing with my... Alright, here we go. Having a bit too much fun there. Just gonna flash the BMW, maybe piss him off a bit. Alright, so we've got a field of GT4s behind us.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Alright, do we have the straight line? Gonna flash him a little bit more, just be a dick. Alright, my tires are catastrophic right now, so this is not gonna go well.
Car on the left.
Just nice and easy, nice and easy, nice and easy. No lap one disasters. Don't want it to be like one of those Kuno's community races. This complete destruction derbies on lap 1. Come on, I think I might have got the run. The Lambo was pretty quick though.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Come on. Alright, so far so good. Setup's feeling okay. We'll see as we get deeper into the race. Woo! 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 That seesawing life. Oh god. Massive understeer for some reason. Alright, that was a decent hook in. Should spit us back out. And I have pretty decent straight line speed compared to the AMG. I really was surprised to see that. Because I know the AMG was dominating for a while.
Car on the left.
Made that too easy, mate. Oh, he's going to take the inside, is he? Alright, cool.
Car on the left.
So be it. So be it.
Clear on the left.
You want to do it like that?
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
All AMGs go down. One down, one to go. Then I've got to take down one of my McLaren brethren. Alright, let's hope I manage to do this. Come on, hook it in. Oh god, oh god, oh god. It's fine. It's kind of fine. It's mostly fine. The AI are really bad through Radeon. Not sure why. I'm just gonna flash him just to piss him off. We're gonna... Nah. Nice and easy. We have all the time in the world. And then we're gonna start lapping GT4s. And that's gonna be awesome.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yes! He lost the stomach for it, boys. You know what I'm looking forward to the most is when I get to the final lap and I run out of juice. I just run out of fuel in the final straight because I haven't calculated anything. It's interesting to see people turn against the AMG, isn't it? It used to be the darling. I mean, I had my first online win with it. I don't particularly like it, like stylistically speaking, it's not my kind of car. I like these mid-engine cars, I like classical supercars, you know? I like the C8R.
Fastest lap of the race. Great job. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Alright, I don't want to be overly aggressive. The last thing I want is aero damage for the next 20 minutes of the race. I may have to back off a bit. I've got the straight line speed, but I need to get the exit. Come on. I just need the exit. Let's go. Bit of a friendly flash as we move on the inside. Am I going to get the line back? No, I'm not. Oh no, I hit the brakes too late. Just alright. That's what this is for. Just rejoin a little bit. Cool. Cool. That's how you use FIA sanctioned runoff, guys. To avoid a catastrophic mistake. That was entirely my fault. I could have made the overtake stick quite easily. Oh, a bit too aggressive there. Those flames shooting out of the back of the 720S. So again, this is 100 strength AI, guys. If you're able to lap in like consistently in the 219s, 218s, you're gonna win at the game on the highest settings. Likewise at the public lobbies, if you're able to lap in the 218s constantly, you're in business. It's about consistency more than anything else. Says the guy being hugely inconsistent, right? Track limits? No, good. Thought that was gonna be a warning. I'm kind of all over the place. Oh man. Whoop.
Car on the right.
Not the place I expected it, but okay. Nicky, it's you and me again, bro. Let's go. Still recovered from the last time at Bathurst. Tell me what you think about iRacing's time model. Wow, half a second on T1. That's what we want to see. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh man, I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I'll take that warning. I've got a really amazing run out of Eau Rouge there, but I have no idea why it understeered me out. Alright, just like that with a little bit of foul play, we're first. That's alright. We're going to start trying to do hopefully 217s as race laps, and we'll be pretty happy with that. Because that'd be a new achievement for me. I've never really managed to do that consistently, and I'm not going to if I keep driving like that. Be better, Roman. Be better. Wow, camera hasn't frozen yet. That's amazing. Guys, I'm starting to feel like this setup I have for the 720 is probably the best setup I've ever had for Spa in this game. Like, in the Ferrari, I'd be struggling to do like mid 218s, and here I am in the what? I mean, I can do low 217s in this thing. That's crazy for me. Yeah, mid 217 race lap. I'll take it. That's another personal best. Alright, let's see if we can do Radeon without actually being launched. I'll be pretty happy with that. Nah, had to let off a bit there. The McLaren is very, very temperamental through there. Cool, I can see I gained a lot of my lap time through taking that incorrectly the first time, so I'll bear that in mind and try and do a legitimate lap in the 217s. I love how hard you can push through there in the 720. Ferrari's way more skittish. No. Yeah, that's where I was losing a lot of my time. I'm sweating so much. I need to like dry myself off after this race and get a drink. And then we can start this joyous process all over again on another track. Maybe we can move back to Zolder, or... I don't know, haven't done Zandvoort in a while. Even though that track model's outdated now. I don't know Snetterton worth a damn at all. Like, I don't know how to drive it whatsoever, so that might be a really good one to move to. From doing 216s at Spa to just like barely knowing how to drive Snetterton. I reckon that'd be awesome. Be very humbling. Yeah, still bottoming out, guys. You're gonna see it right here. I had to lift again. I had to lift again. It's just bottoming out like crazy. I think it could be the rear bottoming out now because I've lowered it way too much. The car feels amazing for the rest of the track, but at Eau Rouge I'm losing 0.2 every time. I love how it feels through the S's though. Like this setup now on the S's, so good.
We are at the halfway mark, there's still a long way to go.
Alright. I thought he was chiming in to tell me that was a track limits violation. That would have sucked. Yeah, this game hates grip loss. It hates grip loss so much. Hates it more than real life does. I thought I hooked that in, but I didn't. At least the stewards are being kind. Yeah, setups really are a compromise between Eau Rouge and the rest of the track. That's so true, especially when it comes to ride height and aero balance. Tire temps aren't terrible. They're not perfect, but they're not terrible. Alright, let's see if we can do this flat out. Come on. God, you have to be so aggressive with the steering. Like, I lost as much time as lifting. That's how hard I had to fight against the natural motion of the car there. God, the car feels so good through there. So good. I love this new BOP update. It's basically allowed me to fall in love with the McLaren all over again. It used to always be my favorite car in R Factor, the 720S, since it came out. Got overtaken by the 488 once I drove it for the first time in ACC, and now it's back to the McLaren. Yeah, I'll let it understeer me a bit too much there. So that's okay. If I'm able to keep lapping in the 217s for race pace, I'm okay with that. So certainly better than I was doing before. If you're watching this, Mike, from 604, I'm coming for you. Coming for your league. But only when you drive at Spa. I'm going to lose everywhere else. And possibly at Spa too. But I'll at least do like one okay lap before I spin out. Alright, so we got 10 minutes. Sorry that I got into first so early, guys. I know it's not as exciting, but we should be catching up to the GT4s any moment. Well, I say any moment, they're about 37 seconds ahead. We'll see how we go. Maybe in the next 5 minutes. What are the lap times for GT4s through here? Like the mid 220s, low 230s? Probably low 230s, I'm guessing, or high 220s. I'm overturning the wheel way too much. Cool. I'm gonna just let it go straight into a wall next time. See, that time I used the curb to help me rotate in. Pro tips. Mohammed, man, how you doing? Finally got that 216 here. Hope you're proud. We ended up getting into the mid 216s, I think, in practice. I think it was that. I can't remember anymore. It was like a 216.5 or something, or 7 probably, with a potential to do a 5 probably. But it's down to you letting me know that the potential was there. Gotta have your horizons broadened before you can reach them, I guess. Huh. I was expecting more delta loss based off that. That's pretty good. No! It's what happens when you hit the brake too early. It's more perilous than hitting it too late. Alright, I'm gonna try and focus more on the race itself. Woo! Man, Eau Rouge is aggressive in this car right now. Yet I'm still losing time there. It's so crazy. I think with the tire wear and everything that's going on, it's going to put me back into the 218s for lapping pace, which is it's fine. As we established, the AI is like 13 seconds behind me. Now this is the AI at 100. I'm sorry guys, I would have jacked them up higher if I could to approximate the real life drivers you might get in like high-end leagues and stuff, but unfortunately this is all the AI can give you for now. Hopefully we start to run into some GT4 traffic soon. And after this, I promise I'll do a track that I completely suck on, like Donington or Snetterton. And that way you can just laugh at me more than usual. After I wipe myself down, I'm starting to really sweat in here. It's becoming a bit taxing. It's the great thing about load cell pedals and direct drive wheelbases. You can actually exert some force in there and it becomes like a quasi-workout after a while. I often wake up the next day with DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness in my legs, of all things. Hey, there's our first GT4. Let's do this. Oh man, it's a whole train of them right at the end. They're the back markers of the back markers. These are like all the gentleman drivers that have just pulled together at the end. 235 laps, wow, that's pretty slow. Blue flags ahoy. Move out of my way, pricks. Coming through.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on
Whatever.
the right.
It's fine.
Clear on the right. Car on the right.
Oh my god.
Clear on the right.
I am scared. It's fine. That went really well, guys. Considering how my escapades normally do, that was awesome. Didn't even get a track limits violation. So good. I'm gonna be pretty sparred out after this, guys. 2 whole nights of just hours of spa. Can move it right along after this. Maybe, actually, I really need to get my times down at Silverstone. I think I'm only capable of like 157s. I'm really, really bad at Silverstone. It's always been probably my weakest popular track. I think largely because I don't enjoy driving it. I think that factors in a lot. Usually the ones I enjoy driving, I tend to get fairly rapid at fairly quickly. Spa I sort of had to teach myself to enjoy. I didn't enjoy it at first, that's for sure. But that's mostly because I was a road car guy, and Spa is just way too wide and way too fast for road cars. Spa is really for open wheelers, you know? Prototypes, stuff like that. I think GT3s are barely powerful enough to be fun at Spa. I mean, they struggle, as you can see. They're at a good break point, though, because it's like, you can't take Eau Rouge flat under all circumstances. Whereas in an F1, it's got to be like some of the most horrific weather you've ever seen for you to not go flat out there. Did I tap him? I could have sworn I didn't tap him. You suck, Beamer. Can I look to the... How do I look to the side? I don't think I've bound it. Damn. Alright, whatever. Alright, the goal here is to just not crash. That's what I'll be happy with. Just finish the race.
Car on the left.
Cut this guy's line. Oh man, I hope I survive this. How are we gonna do this? Nah, no chance. No chance. Yes, hit the brake, bro. Hit the brake.
Clear on the right.
Hit the brake at Radeon. That's the way you do it. Like right in the middle. What a guy. That's why you're in a GT4.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare, boys. Don't you dare. Don't you dare murder the overall race leader, alright? This is not what I'm here for. Got tons of fuel in reserve too. Guys, I'm so keen to just like... Oh man, understeer. I'm so keen to just chill in the pits or the menu after this and just read the chat for a bit. I'm so worn out. Yeah, this is alright. I'm not losing time on the Delta, so that's usually a good start. Oh yeah, go Audi. Go for gold, mate.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Yeah, how's it feel to be held up? Oh, is my indicator on? That's awesome. I'll turn both on, guys. Emergency signals. There you go. As we win. Flashes and all. Eat it, McLaren. Wait, you're one of my people. Respectfully get out of my way, Sir
right.
McLaren.
Clear on the right.
Okay. Spa.
Excellent job, mate. P1. What a race. Well done.
Oh man, reasonably happy with that one. Whew. Yeah, Thomas, I'd say your calc is incorrect, sadly. But the race was 25 minutes, not half an hour, so that might be why. Thanks, other Thomas. Appreciate it. And John? Yeah, Jenson Button retakes his rightful position at pole since, was it 2009 he won the World Championship? Yeah. Hey, P-Dub, how you doing? Whew. What happened to that $10 donation if I won, huh? Double or nothing for Snetterton, huh? Yeah, nah, no chance. My God. Though, that would be a really good case in point. Like, can I learn a track rapidly enough while following the AI that I can actually keep up with their pace? Like, how quickly can I adjust and how quickly can I learn? Because that's a real-life race car driver's skill. They kind of just throw you in there and they're like, hey, you get 5 practice laps to learn the car and then you're going to do the race next weekend. And you're like, there's a lot of things you got to pick up really quickly. Thanks, guys. I enjoyed that. Jankers, 218 qualifying pace is actually quite good. Like by general racer standards, that's really, really good. As we were saying, if you're able to get a race pace in the 218s, the 219s, you're gonna be in the top 3 of most public lobbies, you know? Unless you get an alien in there or a league guy or something. But I think people get hyper fixated. They watch channels like Jardier and they're just like, ugh, I got to be doing like 150 flat at Silverstone or I'm worthless. And it's like, no, just relax, you know? But like 99% of humankind aren't there. Just chill out. Alright, plan is save the replay, let the replay play for a bit. I am gonna head out to go to the bathroom, I think, after all that, and then I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, what I'm gonna do now is move on to a track that I know far less than I know Spa. So you're gonna see me struggle to even complete a lap, much less achieve any kind of a pace. I wasn't very happy with where I left Zolder last time. I was like getting 130 as opposed to 128s, and that was really pissing me off. But I'm not sure if I want to do Zolder again. Magilla, man, thank you so much. Whoa, that's hugely appreciated. So there's something to be said for people that adhere to their word. You know what? Just for that, you get to pick what my next track's going to be. Go for it. There are so many tracks where I'm like, please don't pick that one. Yeah, Mohammed, 215s. We were talking about that. I don't even know how that would be possible for me. Like, I know that mid 216s are possible for me, like on a really good lap, but 215? My God. Unless the track is like 2 degrees. Do you like my hyper masculine pink water bottle, guys? It's metallic pink. Well, whichever one you want, mate. You can do either Silverstone or Snetterton. It's going to be a big difference because at Silverstone I kind of know what I'm doing, just badly, but at Snetterton I have no idea what I'm doing. Snetterton is literally me learning a track from scratch. So, it's like a choose-your-own-adventure book. Savvy, how you doing? Cheers back from Melbourne. Don't say Alton Park, that's my favourite track. I spend too much time there. That'd be like way too easy. Maxi, how you doing? Alright, while you guys decide, I'm gonna head out and I'll be right back. Really need that stream deck. Hello, we're back. So I'm going to see what you guys decided, what the next track is going to be. What did we decide? Snetterton? Alright, done. Snetterton it is. Yeah, I really wish the Nordschleife were in this game too. It's seeming unlikely, based on licensing and everything that everyone said, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Okay. With the 2020 or the British GT? I'm gonna go with the 2020. See, the real record is 147.1. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what a regular lap time at Snetterton is. That's how much I suck at it. Or, I can't even say I suck at it because I don't know it. So you're going to watch me learn a track from scratch. This is going to be my procedure for the whole thing. Okay. I don't have a setup for this either, so it's going to be a lot of approximating tire pressures and tweaking as we go. These pressures look a little weird to me personally, but we'll see. Okay, so it seems like the aggressive default is the same as it was at Spa. I'm kind of wondering if we're going to get a similar result by dropping the rear wing and then dropping the rear ride height and going through that whole shebang. But for now, I'm just going to learn it, I think, on the default setup and see how we go. Alright, cool. So the suspension settings and dampers are quite different. So it's been set up for massive oversteer given the suspension. Like 198 newtons on the rear is insane. So I'm going to guess I'm going to be sliding everywhere. I'll take a decent enough fuel load to just do a few laps because I'm not going to be setting any records. And that's usually my starter. Toshinga, yeah. So, I mean, the way I would normally learn a track, if I really want to take it easy, I'd learn it like this. So I would do what I'm doing in this stream, but offline, without you guys, without talking to anyone. And I would just kind of acquaint myself with it, just feel out the corners, get my personal impression of what the racing line should be. And then I would go online and I would look at something like Unleashed Drivers, where he's done some alien time, and he's like showing me you gotta brake right at this pebble every time, and if you brake at this pebble, you'll like get through the chicane perfectly in third gear, and you'll fly out and gain a second. But if you don't like get it at the pebble, you're gonna just like blow up, and the car would just explode. That's when so there's like two different portions of the learning process. There's like learning the track normally, and then there's like learning the track according to the aliens, the high risk, high reward. No call wine because I haven't started the car yet. so starter's not in. Okay. Be nice and cold now. Yes, let's go back. No? Can't go back? Can't go back for some reason? Okay, cool.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Can I go back now? Yes, I can. Cool. There's your call wine. Alright. Thanks, PG. Yeah, that was a lot of PBs. A lot of PBs for me. I'd never done a 217 race lap before, especially not mid 217. If it was mid 217, and I'd never done 216s before ever, so that was pretty awesome for me. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, my pleasure about the camera window. I get with ACC it's a little bit different. Hey, wait, this is that's right. That's like that mid-speed corner. Oh man, woo! Feeling that force feedback already. Damn, son. All right, so we've got a hairpin coming up. Whoa, again, for those who have just joined us, I'm literally learning this track, like from scratch. I barely know Snetterton, if at all. So what's this? All right, so that's like a second gear. You can kind of hook it in a bit. You're going to get that mid-corner oversteer through it. The curves are rough, man. They're rough. I don't think the hard suspension in the rear is a good thing for this car. That's another hairpin. All right, we've got another hairpin. All right, cool. So another hairpin, and what's this? Another left turn. How's that? High speed? No, about second. Can probably hook it in pretty aggressively, I'm guessing. Oh my god. What would this be? First? Oh man, it's like another hairpin. I mean, no wonder I don't drive this track. It's kind of not good. You know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme of racetracks, that isn't a sequence of corners that's particularly exciting. I mean, am I wrong in saying that? So that's probably one of the reasons I've never really driven Snetterton too much. Third, okay, third, and then what? You probably have to. Wow, okay, so you really got to overslow. You really got to overslow for that area. And this is the part where traditionally I have no idea what I'm doing. Like none, zero. It's like this multi-part corner. It's like, do you brake early or do you like coast? Do you do this? Do you like keep it in? Do you keep it on the inside and just brake in a straight line really aggressively and then hook it around? Alright, so this is like the third gear one that's coming up here. Tires still aren't up to temp, so that's fine. Okay, I've done it a bit too early, so you can hook in the curb a bit, I'm guessing, to help pull you in. And then it's almost flat through there. And then you brake at the second board. Yep, you brake at the 2 board and then come around. Curbs are really aggressive on this track, really, really aggressive. I can see why the McLaren may not be the optimum choice, maybe. This curb's a lot better. Oh man, props to them for getting all this track detail in there. So good. Good stuff, Kunos. Okay, I got to brake earlier. I'll just start braking earlier across the board. Probably move the brake bias back again. There's a lot of heavy braking zones here and you've got to turn the car while braking. So that usually means rearward brake bias. I think this is first. It feels kind of right. Do you lift there in second? Yeah, you kind of lift there in second. It has a kind of flow to it. I've done permutations of this track that didn't involve that entire extended section. It bypasses that and just takes you straight to this bit. That's kind of cool. Maybe you brake at 1. Okay, you brake at the 1 board, I'm guessing? Go there and then, oh man, So what, you got to be braking during that corner? And then this is like an exercise in coasting or something? In 4th? Alright, you got to... Oh, man. So you got to hook it up in a way that you end up in a straight line for that final braking zone at the end. I find this track so fascinating. It has a really, really strange flow for my brain. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Which is probably why it's such a good idea for me to drive it more. Alright, so... you brake way after the rubber comes in on the road. And this is at second, right? So come in, 2. Probably if you're traveling quicker than that, it makes more sense. So rough curbing through here from memory. And then through here you go down to second, I believe. You try and hook this in. Oh my god. Okay, a lot of mid-corner corrections. The tire pressures make absolutely no sense that they've started us off with. That's okay. We can adjust. What am I doing? So this is second, or possibly third. And this is first, if I recall correctly. Unless you can do it in second, it might be possible. Yeah, it's interesting, so many mid-speed, flat, not cambered corners. Dear God, you have to brake so hard there. And then through here, it's like, it's a, oh my, whoa, oh man. Woo. Okay. Fair enough. I guess it's very bumpy through there, granted. Though it is funny watching ACC operate at the extremes of its damper behavior. It's always been one of those things like, I feel like the code is dividing by zero, because the car behaves in such an interesting way. Spinala indeed. Wait, what am I doing? Wrong. I thought that was the hairpin for some reason. Alright, don't read the chat. Here we go. Back to learning. Learn, learn, learn. At the second board, brake, go down first. Alright, hook it in. Really rough curb on the inside there, late on the power. Go up here. I believe this was the second. Kind of hook it in and you go like this. It's so aggressive out there. Okay, so you gotta brake before that. You gotta brake at like the second board. Maybe you stay in third for this? You can, I guess? It's an interesting track. I don't think it's at risk of ever becoming one of my favorites, if I'm honest. Whoop. Anti-cut, be anti-cut. Alright, so this is like a lift, I think, through there. Cool. And then here it's like if do something. Maybe go out wide and then come back in. Man, how would you even do that? And that, it has such a strange flow. Such a strange flow. It just doesn't make sense to my mind. As somebody who loves Alton Park and Brands Hatch, I come to Snetterton and it feels so broken. Alright, that makes more sense for this corner. Be way more aggressive through there. Don't do that. That's fine. Don't even worry about it. Alright, a bit more rearward brake bias, and probably correct tire pressures would help. What am I doing? What am I doing? Again, it's just, this is the track that never connected with me. Out of all the tracks in the racing world, me and Snetterton are just two different subspecies. Alright, so there'll be nothing resembling quick pace here, guys. I'll be happy to just get to a point where I'm doing a competent lap. So, rears need about 0.7, fronts need about 0.2. I can't believe that turn. That's insane. I'm trying to see where I can hit the brakes for that last one to not lose too much time. Again, it's such a strange flow. So you're in a loaded high-speed corner, and it just cuts with this abrupt left-hander. And don't worry, guys, I'll read all your comments and suggestions after I finish this bonanza of flailing and mayhem. Okay. Not entirely what I expected, but that's okay. Maybe that's in third? Maybe? Alright, earlier. Maybe that is second. Dear God. Tashinga, with Paul Ricard, I'm certainly better than this, but it was never one of the tracks that really connected. I never really got up to like proper pace, but I do enjoy portions of it. I just find other portions of it very difficult to judge from a sim racing perspective, because there are a lot of blind corners unless you have a triple screen or you're on VR. So me being on a single monitor, it's a bit difficult to judge some of the later corners and the apexes. Interesting. Maxi, welcome back.
Well done, mate. That's the best.
The curbing is so rough. Alright, come on. I'm gonna try this in third, see if it works. Yeah. Okay, that's third. Alright, cool. That makes more sense. Oh, okay. So it's super late on the power there. See, that's another corner where having a triple screen or VR would really help, I feel. I'm gonna try second here, see if that works. I think it does. I think maybe here you need to accelerate to step up to third before you let the car go, because it seems like being in the high revs mid corner just rotates the rear end. Oh god. Okay. Sure, let's go with that. That is going to take the longest for me to get. It's going to take the longest for it to make sense. That's okay. See, every lap it gets a little bit better and better. So when I learn a track completely from scratch, this is basically the deductive process I go through. That curbing is insane. Oh my god. Sayonara, board. Okay, back to the garage, and actually, look at my... What was I going to do? I was going to lift the rears by like 0.4 or something, if I recall correctly. I feel like its readings aren't entirely correct. The McLaren is weak at Brands Hatch, are you sure? Because I mean, maybe this is actually a slow time, but I'm in the 122s with the McLaren at Brands Hatch. $270 degrees of rotation is quite aggressive for me personally. Right now I'm running 480 in the McLaren. And a lot of GT cars do 540, I believe. But the pressures, yeah, I don't really know what to do here. I feel like that's definitely a move you want to make. It's just way too stiff in the rear. The car feels really juddery. Yeah, I mean, the McLaren for me at Brands is like one of the quickest cars I've driven through there. I don't know of anything that I can personally take around quicker. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if it sucks around there. I mean, if there's something that can do 121s through there easily, do let me know. I'd love to switch to it. All right. Back to the learning process. I need to keep an eye on the tire temps this time. This is really where I've got to lock it down. There's something very humbling about this. I think going from a track like Spa, where I managed to set a personal best, to one that I don't even know and just beginning from scratch. Something very cool about that. Right, gonna reboot the tires one more time. And here we go. That curb is just murder. I could see why perhaps the McLaren wouldn't be one of the better cars for this track, given just how rough the curbing is. Yes, that's great advice, Josip. Driving faster is something I hope to do one day. That day may not be today, however. I don't think you want to go all the way out there. I tend to like maximizing track limits, but I don't think that's one you want to maximize. So late. Oh my god. Yeah, one of the challenges of learning Snetterton is that I don't like the track, you know? So when you don't like something, you inherently have this, like, barrier. You have this intrinsic resistance to it. That curbing, though. Nice use of your troll face emoji, by the way. You missed my glorious destruction of Spa. Okay, sure, let's just drift it. Whatever. Maybe that's kinda, maybe? I don't know. Oh god, don't get spat out, please. Oh, that's right, I destroyed the sign. That's not gonna help me. It's making a little more sense now. Okay, so second there isn't terrible by the looks of it. Okay, so I can get into the 148s, it seems, if I just hook together something that makes sense. So what would you do here? You turn down and then hit the brakes. Maybe you would brake later and then keep braking all the... that anti-cut. McLaren and anti-cut are not two peas in a pod. Okay. Tortellini, I love it how you always jump in as I'm learning a track I don't know whatsoever. You like, you conveniently bypass the bit where I get a PB at Spa and then come straight into the track I've never driven before. Appreciate you, man. I'm just trying to get a competent, something resembling a race lap here. I don't know this track. Just as long as that delta looks green every time, I'm pretty happy. Okay. Hit the brakes a little too late there again. What's this? I'm gonna stay in third maybe this time? Under. But I kept the car on the track. I'll take that. Alright, so I'm going to try brake a little deeper this time. Yeah, maybe it's more like that-ish. Oh, the McLaren doesn't like that. Oh, man. I swear, guys, that's going to take me the longest to get out of anything. Alright, but we're slowly in the 148s now, so bit by bit, we're getting there. Quick break. So what's the new update? What are the BOP changes? I'm finding the McLaren is amazing now. Ferrari I don't like. Apparently the AMG sucks now. You want to tell me about that? When am I racing at Imola? I really hammered Imola like a couple of months or weeks ago. I just hammered it with the GT4s, the GT3s on a lot of our FANATEC review videos. I got a little bit overdoing it, but I love Imola. It's one of my favorite tracks. $146.5. Cool. All right. Well, that's something good to aim for, I guess, once it all comes together. I feel like I'm not too far off the 147 bracket. I just need to get some of these corners down a bit better. And stop bottoming out. That would help too. Okay, so the bollard is the apex, and you only want to accelerate after that, I'm guessing. Oh man, too fast. Alright, cool. Carry too much speed. Maybe third? Third kind of understeers a bit. Renato, what's up? Alright, that's starting to make a bit more sense now. Alright, yeah. The understeer there is not making sense, that's for sure. Okay, that makes sense. I was losing a ton of time on that last corner. After a little while, I should be able to get into the 147s pretty regularly, and then we can go from there. It's fine. Maybe I should keep doing that in third, I don't know. Nope, not the droids I'm looking for. So much understeer through there. Alright, that's interesting. Maybe I need to stay in second. Oh, it's good to hear that the AMG is still really strong. If I'm honest, I kind of want to try it here. So maybe I can actually take a curb once. Yeah, I get these moments of understeer here, and they're enough to really push you out. Then there's these really strong... Oh, man. So yeah, so if I'm in the green delta after such an abysmal lap, it means that I was losing a ton of time right at the end there. So 147 should be quite possible for me. Okay, so far so good. Stay in third for this one, maybe? Maybe? Okay, third. Third. Alright, we're at deltas in the 147s already. Alright, maybe stay in third for this one too. No, that curbing. That curbing is insane through here. Give me an AMG any day of the week, maybe an Aston or something. Alright, I guess you gotta stay in second there to help you rotate, maybe? And then turn in and kind of brake late here, I guess. So much understeer coming out of there. The car bottoms out. I can feel that I'm losing time through there. Alright, mid 147s, I'll take it. We're slowly making headway. We started at 150, and here we are. It's getting there, bit by bit by bit. So guys, that's what it looks like when a pleb tries to learn a track on YouTube. Ooh, can we get into the 146s? I kind of doubt it. Ah! That's not going to help. That rough curbing's not going to help. Oh! The rough curbing! That curbing! Maybe the McLaren isn't the one. I don't know. Someone asked Baldwin for me. He'd know. But I mean, technically in real life, this is where it started going downhill for him at Snetterton. Those are his own words, by the way. So maybe the McLaren in this track just aren't two peas in a pod. Not saying there isn't like another couple of seconds in my lap times, of course. I'm still limited by my skill more than anything else right now. Or my knowledge of the track, rather. But the car isn't responding very kindly to the curbing. I think that's fair to say. Nah. Alright, I'm gonna check out my pressures. So apparently they're 28 exactly on the left. That's full on. I'm gonna keep driving and see what the pressures resolve to. 27.3. So I need to know how much to adjust them. They seem a bit too low on the right side. Okay, I overdid that while looking at the pressures. That's alright. Come on, back on the road. So left side is okay. Right side needs about 0.2 or 0.3 more, I think. That's going to load the left side a lot. They're going to start to overheat. See, now on the straight they're equivalent. That's interesting. It seems to vary a lot over the course of a lap at Snetterton. Kind of hard for me to say where they need to be. That's probably my favorite corner complex on all of Snetterton. It's such a highly loaded braking zone. Very fun. Too much understeer through there, so something needs to be done about the setup to stop that from happening on the McLaren. It could be because it's bottoming out, could be a bump stop thing, could be a damper thing, I'm not sure. I don't have the setup of the gods for this. I still feel like the right side pressure's a little low, maybe? Like 0.1 or 0.2? What say you, Tortellini, if you're still in here? I got told that apparently the ideal pressures are now like 27.7 rather than 28 since one of the BOP updates. Yeah, I think the car is just bottoming out way too much everywhere, especially with the way that I drive. So either I don't think I would use the McLaren here, or I would at least set it up in such a way that it can handle the curbing. Oh man, maybe mid-corner you have to shift up to third there to gain the rear back. Okay, 27.7 it is. This is cool. This is like, you know when you guys like, people always talk about having that dream when they're giving a speech or something and they're naked? This is like the sim racing equivalent. It's literally you at your worst, learning a track from complete nothing. And there's guys in here watching you that set world records. Once you overcome that, you can overcome anything. I promise. Right, good to know. About the pressures, that is. That kind of makes sense, because the higher I go, the closer I get to the 28s, the more I get that strange kind of mid-corner oversteer effect that's so very hard to control. I do love how just angry the curbing here is. It's so thin and old school. See guys, I'm screaming out for a car that's American, that can just eat those curbs. I need my spirit animal. Maybe the Corvette GT3 car. I wonder if they're going to bring that into this when it, you know, begins to exist in real life. Yeah, the C8R. So I think they're setting it up as a GT3 car because GTE as a class is basically ending shortly. Yeah, Joseph, I mean, these are basically pleb streams. The idea is to basically just be a little bit more low pressure, low stress. So these are the things, I introduced this in the last two streams, but normally these sessions are something I'll do privately offline for a couple of hours a day when I have the time, where I'll just kind of learn a track, put in the time, see how many seconds I can shave, see how comfortable I can get. Once I hit a certain break point, I'll either go and check out the aliens laps and try and learn, you know, based on the brake markers they put forth, their gearing and stuff like that, and then I'll try and do the setup from there. And that's kind of how I tier the progress from track to track to track. So with ACC, I'm very spotty. There are some tracks where I consider myself relatively rapid. I'm within, I think, a second or two of the alien times. They're few and far between. They're just the ones that I've put way too much time into. But then there are ones like Snetterton that I don't know whatsoever, and I would struggle to even achieve race pace at. So there's a huge, wide disparity there, and it's because there's so much of a workload per track. You have to set up the car again. You got to look at Motec or, you know, buy the Coach Dave setups, whatever way you prefer to go about this, and then learn the flow of the track as well. And Snetterton, as I keep saying, is just one of those ones that just doesn't gel with me personally, and that's fine. Sometimes it just happens. So actually, one of the things, hey Jeff, how you doing? One of the things I do like to do at this point when I've kind of gotten the flow of the track is I'll set up a race against the AI that'll go for about 20 minutes or so, and I'll put the AI relatively high, like 98 to 100, and I'll see how well I can follow them, and that will usually teach me new lines, and that's another kind of plateau that I can break through bit by bit by bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to very quickly check my browser. I'm going to do a fuel calculation, I think for a 20-minute lap here at Snetterton, and see how that goes. Good old ACC strategist, for anyone that hasn't used it before, just key that into Google. It's a godsend. I'm still not convinced that the McLaren is the car for this track, given the way it handles the curbing. I may want to do a slight adjustment actually before I start the race. I may want to soften something or raise something, or not use the McLaren. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. I feel like the Lamborghini might be a bit better at handling the curbing, because the McLaren is notorious for not being good with rough curbing. It's one of the reasons it's just not phenomenal at Imola, at least to the best of my knowledge. I think all the top times were set in the AMGs or something, or usually the front engine cars. So it's possible those front engine beasts might be the way to go on Snet as well. Oh, I like that. I like ACC strategist. It's like Average lap time, 146.3. Like, surely, Omen, with your horrific 147.4 best lap ever, you can match that. So it reckons 36 litres. We'll see. I'll just set them to 100. Let the dominoes fall as they will. Yeah, Digital Pope, I think that might be a good idea, but my fear is always that it will impact the car on those mid-speed corners and the straights, but I think the sacrifice will be worth it, so I'm going to see what I can do. Has it, Jeff? I feel like I've been racing against the AI quite a bit on ACC lately. One of the main reasons for that is there just aren't that many races here in Australia. There's just not that many people driving, and again, I just want to say, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm so glad my camera hasn't frozen yet tonight. You can see how annoying these issues are. Some nights it's perfect, other nights I get dropped like 8 times, so God, I hope AMD fix those USB connectivity issues. But yeah, people don't tend to drive ACC in Australia in public lobbies, so it tends to be a bit problematic to find somewhere to race. But I can do like a public lobby assault day one day, maybe when it's Sunday, everyone's got a day off and people are like in the lobbies. You might get like a half dozen if you're lucky, and I'll just get in there and you guys can, you know, laugh at me as I race against actual people. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm gonna try it. I love Kale Army. There's a fix circulating through the motherboard vendors, but it hasn't made its way through to ASUS, at least not for my motherboard. Just said that it disconnected my stream. Let me know if you guys can still see me. Did that drop out then? Windows just told me that the stream disconnected. We're good? Okay, cool. Alright. Alright, good. Alright, perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So, expect to see me lose horribly, but these are the educational experiences I love. I love going in a race and getting stomped. I freaking love it, because that's when you learn the most. So, let's go into the setup to the tires. Want the tires to not be fully cold. Alright, there we go.
Going double
Pro
fire.
hacks. Just flash these guys. Should be a dick from the outset. It's gonna be awesome. So we've got a field of GT4s. No, this is the 2020. So there's no GT4s. It's just the grid of GT3. So I'm gonna be basically holding up a bunch of guys behind me. Love that. The entire stream dropped out, but not my camera. How's that for a good stream evening? God, I don't even know where races normally start at Snetterton. So this is the very first race I've ever done at Snetterton, like ever, in anything, ever.
Green light, go, go, go.
I'm scared, guys. Hold me.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh no, not that curbing. Oh man, that curbing though.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Alright, maybe if
Car
I
on the
hold
left.
up the inside,
Clear on the left.
I can gain a position. Oh my god, look at the AI go over that
Car on the
curbing.
left.
Alright, got a guy on my inside. I don't think I'm going to shake him.
Clear on the left.
Bit of a love tap there, but not too bad. That's fine. Some American line there. Just pretend you're at Sebring. Life's good. So I've set this AI, I think, to 100 on purpose so it can show me what's up. Man, they're taking this worse than I am so far.
Car
Oh
on the
man,
left.
did not mean to do that, but he really got on those brakes
Clear on the
early.
left.
So that's one of the things about ACC. I feel like occasionally the AI will underprepare you, because even at 100, they're still so off pace most of the time. I'm not really sure why. Oh man, not the way to go about it. Not with cold brakes and tires. Well, not cold brakes, more cold tires. All right, how do we do this? Oh, I'm scared. Okay, less understeer. Less understeer with the adjustments I made. More oversteer, more... Please come back. Alright, car is bloody twitchy through there. That warmed up the left side of the car though. So it's pretty good. Mission half accomplished. What? That curving, man. Wow. Got a lot more understeer coming out of there than I thought I would. Alright, if you follow the AI, generally you entrench the patterns of the track a lot more quickly for yourself. That's what I find. Cool. So the bollard is the sign that you get on the throttle, which won't help for long because people will knock that off online. Gotta stop doing that. Okay, there's a trick to that. You gotta get on the power at the right time. Alright, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. Damn you, Audi. How do you slow down so fast? Maybe less TC. I'm not TC, ABS. The other one, the other one. Ah, okay. So they hook it in from the right side of the track to get a good exit through there. I've still got to get the line through that last set of, that last major turn.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Still a lot more understeer there than I hoped for. I'm going to go a bit lower on the brake bias. Alright, so far so good. So that's just after the 2 board that you want to brake. Oh no. I hit the brake at the same time as the AI and it's just not correct for that one. Alright, so I'm getting on the power too early there, I think. They feel frustrating, a lot of these corners. So you have to wait, you gotta wait to get on the power. still got to get this down. Ooh. Ooh, that bounce is not good. Nah, nah. Well, it's still quicker than it was. Alright, I'm keeping up with the train of 100 strength AI. That's a start. I missed the downshift, but it's still okay, I think. Yep, gotta wait to get on the power. Gotta wait to get on the power. Brake at the boards, or just before even. And we get on the power. I don't know how far out you want to run out. Like, my inner rally driver is like, maximize the track, maximize every inch of grass and everything. That's my inner R Factor 2 guy as well, because in R Factor you just munch curbs, you don't even have to think about them. I don't like putting the power down there in second. Like, the car just spins out. The torque just drops straight to the rear and it's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Alright, I've got a more aggressive line than the AI through there. Okay, through there you can't grab too much of the inside. Cool, gotcha. Was that it? You kind of, well, as we say, you soft cock it through that last major, highly loaded turn to set up the little hairpin thing. As you can tell, no time to look at the chat, unfortunately. I'm using all of my brain power trying to learn this track while racing max AI. Maybe a little high. I just need to drive better, honestly. Don't think it's a ride height thing. I just need to drive better. I feel like, honestly, like Alton Park, the Porsche would just clean up through here. In Alton Park, the Porsche was so much easier to take to than this car for me. Don't spin, please. No spinola. No, I always lose the exit there. Maybe I need to like shift up to third mid-corner or something. The AI is good for showing you that sort of stuff. Alright, be aggressive. Oh no, too aggressive, too aggressive, too aggressive. No, don't do it. No. I could see it happening. That's alright, live and learn. But yeah, I feel like a rear-engine car would just rotate around these corners so much more effortlessly, just like at Alton Park, where the Porsche is just so easy to drive. What am I doing, Herman? What am I doing? Focus, mate, focus. Same G, the same G. This McLaren behind me really doesn't like me. Just fine, I wouldn't like me either. Keep overdoing it on that exit there. Whew, it's quite something, going from learning a track to racing max AI straight away. It's revealing, I guess. Oh man, I'm just losing it, guys, sorry. It's getting pretty late in the night. I think I've burned myself out. I'm making simple mistakes now. And with that, I guess that concludes our race. Okay, I mean, could be worse. I kept up with the train for a little while there. I was expecting it probably to go a little worse than it did. I could see that they were doing times in like the high 47s. So if I just stick with it and get into the 46s, we should be okay. Yes, you joined at the perfect time. Yeah, the car, that was really interesting there. I could kind of feel that it was going to give out on me, but I didn't realize it'd just do that. I didn't. That's the interesting thing about ACC. It doesn't convey lateral forces all that well through the force feedback, and as a result, you don't really know when the car is over the limit like that. I just assumed that I could pick up with the engine, but the engine, it's almost like it stalled or something, and it just went, blah, and then spun out onto the grass. But that's the least of my worries. I have a lot of training, a lot of picking up to do here at Snetterton. There's definitely a lot for me to learn, and I think the setup can certainly be improved a lot too. I am kind of curious though, now that I kind of know the track a little bit, what if I go back with a car that ideally should handle the curbs a little bit better? I'm thinking I'll try something mid-engined, like the Lambo. Yeah, looking at the cars, actually, I reckon the Porsche would be amazing. Brigadelli, man, in honor of Sabine. Let's do it. Okay, real record 147.1. Okay, cool. Well, on some of my better laps that weren't in the race, I was close to the real record, so I'll take some solace in that, knowing that of course the aliens are probably doing 144s or something. Jerry, yeah, I've been able to perceive the limit more and more in ACC. So it's partly due to two things. The first is the direct drive wheelbase. It helps a lot with ACC. It reveals some of those finer forces a lot more. So that's certainly helped. Every new firmware update for the FANATEC base makes ACC feel that much better. And then obviously all the subtle changes they've made over time, the 5-point tire model, the recent updates to the force feedback that make you feel that mid-corner slip a bit easier. All of those things have helped incrementally, for sure. Mine is GTE as well, Maxi. I love GTE. I'm so sad that it's basically at its end, that it's not really going to exist. I love the fact that it's basically just a supercharged GT3 car for professionals. So no ABS, only enough TC to, you know, get it through a 24-hour race, and then they're just so... They're so angry. They're so, it's like looking at a UFO pancake version of the car, of the road car, just racing. So good. And the C8R, ugh, just amazing. Love that car. The 911 RSR is something else too. Alright, curious how the Porsche goes. Usually the Porsche needs some loving in order to not spin you out and murder you horribly, but we'll see how we go. I'm curious what its wheel rotations are though, because I've got this locked at 480 right now. I might go back to 720, so it's a catch-all. Just going to go heavy downforce like we do at Alton Park. See how that works out for us. Quick, take a screenshot of Vermin's force feedback settings. Pretty much defaults. So when you have a DD1 base, you just leave it at default. It's basically what your force feedback settings are. You don't need to deal with anything else. All right, get that virginity protection back on. Didn't I use the aggressive preset? I thought I went off the aggressive preset. Now you've got me worrying. Okay. The Porsche is 800 degrees? That's insane. So what you're telling me is I want to set the steering rotations in the game to 900 and on the base. Crazy. I'll just go with 720 and hope for the best. Seems to work for me at Alton Park, so why not? Okay, I'm gonna just go back after I start the engine. Yep. There we go. Whoa, that's a different sounding car. I haven't driven a Porsche with the new wheelbase yet, actually. It's kind of cool. It's been a while. I do like this thing just rotates itself, right? Is that what it's going to do? Okay, it's relatively stable-ish. Ooh, okay, a bit understeery. She wants to turn. Oh, yeah. Makes it feel like Alton Park, though. Yeah, it needs more oversteer. My guess is you do the hairpins in second in this car. This first gear is so short. Ooh, you hit the limiter there. That's not good. Car is so much more nimble and oh my god. Okay, other than the bouts of understeer for some reason, the car is way more agile. Yeah, for some reason it's quite understeery. So I might do more splitter at the front. See how that goes. Actually let the tires warm up. That might help too. God, I love that diff line. Oh man, it's very skittish there. A lot more skittish than the McLaren. Way less planted. Whew. She just wants to murder you. Oh my god. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh man, rear engine. Rear engine, rear engine, rear engine, rear engine. Okay. 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 Alright, this is different. Ugh. Okay, so there, oh my god. Oh man, oh my god. Ah! This car. Wow, okay, this is an experience. Not so much a car. Okay, so you actually go down to first there. That's kind of cool. Oh my god. Oh my, wow. Okay. I'll be honest with you guys, this is not the experience I saw in my head going into this. Morning, Jeremy. How you doing? I think there's potential in this. I just have to learn how to drive it, that's all. And not, oh my god. Are you serious? Are you serious, man? Oh, wow. Man, I don't even know what to say. I just... This is not what I signed up for? I just... no. This is not the experience I need at midnight. Sorry guys, the Porsche is not the one for me. At least not yet. It needs work. It needs so much work. And I don't think I'm in the place to give it to it. Okay. Original plan is go. Porsche and me are inseparable at Alton Park. I love that car there, but everywhere else, maybe the Nürburgring GP is really good there, but man, I don't really get along with that rear engine thing. Yeah, I don't really have it in me to play race engineer after midnight, guys. I'm sorry. Been at this for a little while now. I just need something that's pretty close out of the box on the aggressive preset. I'm curious which cars are quicker than the McLaren out of the box. The Porsche, for me, is not. That is an aggressive ride height. I'm curious how that goes. Is there any car in ACC that has a good default setup? I mean, depends. Some have okay aggressive ones. The McLaren at Spa was very, very fast to get into the 217s for me. And then eventually with a bit of tweaking, I got it into the 216s. And that was just tweaking off the aggressive preset. I barely touched the dampers. So the dampers are almost on point for that one. So yeah, happens. All right.
Green light, go, go, go.
So this is the bunker that you can't look out of. So what concerns me is actually seeing the apexes. It's so hard to see out of this car. It's great. You can hear that TC pulsing. It's so much better at handling the curbs than the McLaren already. This is kind of what I expected might happen. It's so much better at handling the curbing. So much better. It's a bit more stable mid-corner as well. I can't see a thing, but other than that, it's pretty good. I was surprised when this car massacred the McLaren for me at Bathurst. Really surprised. I ended up getting like a second or two quicker per lap immediately. Okay, so the brake point is a bit earlier than it is in the Macca. Fair enough. Just still a little understeer. Yeah, I like that. Raise the rear ride height so I can look out the window properly. It has a certain stability that just doesn't exist with the Porsche, and it's throwing me for a loop. It's legitimately freaking me out. I'm just expecting homicide. It's just so nice. Which is so strange to say about an Italian car. It's like not trying to massacre me, it's just driving well. Though I guess it's more of a VW these days, really. I still feel like I'm taking too much of the curbing though. No car likes that. I keep trying to hook that in for the exit, but it's just not happening for me. Whoa, these are not the droids you're looking for.
This has been your personal best.
Alright, Omen. Try one lap where you drive well, or at least borderline competently. Let's see how that goes. I have to say, if anything, it's quite understeery. It's way more stable there on power than the McLaren is, but my times are still pathetic. I mean, so are my tyre pressures though. They seem completely off. Alright, so we're approximately in the same ballpark as the times with the McLaren, so I guess it's less about the car and more about me sucking at this point, which is fair. Very fair. Fallen, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate the tenner. Makes all the sweat and toil in the graveyard hours worth it. Speaking of which, I've got to go back to the pits. What do we need? We need a bit more on the right side, about 2. The sounds of this game are very good. That's so strange, looking at that disparity between the tyre pressures left and right. That's crazy. But it does feel like the car's a little bit understeery. Wow, they actually have differential camber per side. That's weird. I wonder if that's intentional. Wow. Flash, that's awesome, man. I'm hoping you're enjoying ACC and sim racing as a whole, I guess. There it is. There it is, guys. That's the understeer. You're looking at the understeer right there. Look at that wheel rate, front and rear. Oh my god. That's the understeer right there. I'll spit out some telemetry so I can look at Motec after this. I feel like the Lambo has more potential than the McLaren through here, at least for me. It just drives more normally. I feel weird having differential camber. I don't know what that's about. Go into depth in car tuning. So you've already got, I believe you've got videos from Jardier about that sort of stuff where he goes over it and he's far more knowledgeable than I am at ACC. I might do one in the future when I feel like I'm comfortable enough with the title to be dispensing any kind of advice. Obviously, don't look at my Snetterton videos as any kind of an example. Check me out on Brands Hatch or Alton or Spa or something like that where I actually kind of know what I'm doing-ish. But the problem with the setups is that they differ so much from car to car. It depends where the engine is, what the chassis layout is. There's so much to be said and so much to be done. It'd be so difficult to encapsulate into a single video. I feel like you could probably do a video for every subsection of the setup in ACC. That's, yeah, the amount of detail you could go into there is like mind-boggling, if I'm honest. Trail braking is the secret. It's the secret sauce. It's the way to improve all your lap times by several seconds. All right, the gloves are getting harder and harder to put on. They're very sweaty. All right, here we go. I'm trying to get the car in a place where maybe I can do like low 147s or high 146s consistently, and that way I can take on the 100 strength AI and go from there and hope for the best. These are not the tire pressures you're looking for. Cool. Doug, how you doing? You're gonna struggle with a G29, is it? Yeah, in ACC anyway. They're just not very compatible to one another. It's never gonna really be idyllic. I was using a T500 and it just felt so sluggish and dead. My feeling is maybe my brake bias needs to go back yet again. I don't know what a good brake bias is for the Lambo, actually. It feels better. Ooh, still understeer. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Understeer, that's the thing. I'm gonna try dropping the TC back a little bit, let the car rotate a bit more. Okay, can rotate the rear end on power a bit better now. It's a lot more stable through there than the McLaren. Still not quite rotating as much as I would like. I want to keep bringing the brake bias down 1% at a time until I feel content. Alright, now I can go through there flat, which is good. It's still very much understeery through there. It's possible it might need an ARB adjustment. But as you can see, we kind of go from a place where, okay, I'll start learning a track, I won't know what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to get the lay of the land. And once I get to a point where I kind of know what I'm doing, I start to tweak the setup as I go, because the setup ties into my driving. I can start to tell what I need from the car that it isn't giving me. That ideally, yeah, see, it's still understeering. So that's not what I need out of this. I need it to rotate way more than it's rotating right now. It's entirely possible I need to take off a bit of the rear wing. I think that might have the effect that I'm after. Alright, we're at a point with the brake bias where the car almost wants to spin out there, so that's a problem unto itself now. That's a little more balanced. Too much understeer. Tire pressures on the right are way too high now. Okay, you can go flat out through there now, which is cool. Gearing through there is kind of interesting. Okay, alright, I'm starting to get the flow of the Lambo a bit more. Oof. Oh man. Ooh, it's a little unstable there now. Alright, I can say that the Lambo should comfortably be able to get into the 146s, assuming that I eventually work out what I'm doing. Rolling Burrito, man, thank you so much. You reckon the Lexus? I might try that next, assuming that I have the energy after this. Thanks again for the 5, man. Really appreciate it. I was hoping by this point to have already gone back to another AI race against Max AI, but I don't quite feel comfortable enough on the track. I'm close, but I'm still making very simple mistakes. It's like a mid-corner gear drop in this car. The traction control being at 2 may not be my oh no. It's that understeer, my god. Alright. Hey David, how you doing? Thanks for the advice, man. I'm gonna try that. A preface for this. I'm not usually this terrible. I've literally started learning Snetterton from scratch tonight. So I'm trying to get up to pace to race 100 grade AI. That's what I want to do. I want to keep up with the train. I want to be like, all right, I can at least race Snetterton semi-competently, if not quickly. I'm still trying to find the right car for it. I'll take your word for it, man. I'm not even going to check in Motec. Why would you pick a nickname like that? Mikun Rodo? Whatever, man. Greetings back to Finland. I love that place. Last 2 times I've touched down in Europe, I always do it in Helsinki first. Love that place. One of my favorite places on earth. Alright. I feel like the longer I read the chat, the more inclined I'm going to be to just like shut the game down and just chill out with some tequila or something and chat with you guys, because I am so exhausted. I think it's, what is it, past 1 AM here? Check my... Oh yeah, it's about 1 AM. That's not too bad for me, but I've been at this for about 3 hours straight now, so it does take its toll in a stuffy room. Piotr, I sometimes change the brake bias during racing, but it doesn't seem strictly as important as it is during, like, an F1 race, say. It's not as critical. Sometimes, though, and I stole this from Tortellini, sometimes you actually benefit from changing the traction control mid-race. That blew my mind. That was insane. That gained me, like, a second at Suzuka. Crazy. I'm glad we've got some love happening for David Petard. So if you guys don't know who he is, he's an amazing GT3 driver. His, what was it, 54 overtakes in 1 lap of the Nürburgring is one of my favorite motorsport videos of all time. It's like how to almost crash 54 times in 1 lap, yet still somehow maintain a career doing this. It's insane. If you haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. Dude has mad skill. But yes, to those who've just joined us, this is my very first time ever really racing at Snetterton. I've just learned the flow of the track. I'm just trying to get the ins and outs of it down, trying to get it feeling correct, and I'm going to go up against the 100 strength AI and see how far we can get with it. It's an interesting flow. It's a very, very flat track, but the curbing is just masochistic. So you get that crazy dichotomy of the track kind of being nice some of the time, and then not nice at all the rest of the time. I'm still feeling understeer, but I'm hoping that's just due to the tires being cold. I'd say I'm enjoying this car a lot more than the McLaren through here. What am I doing? What am I doing? These aren't the droids you're looking for, Roman. Nope. This corner, for the life of me, I'll just never get. Is it just one of those things where you go in like mid-throttle and just, like, there's less to it than you think, you know? It isn't like a double apex kind of thing, because I keep thinking double apex. It has to be a double apex. But maybe it's just like a hold the throttle at the midpoint and just follow the inside line. But I do like doing this sort of thing, guys. It's very humbling, learning something from scratch on a stream. You kind of showing everything warts and all. Wow, man, that understeer though. I think dialing that character out of this car would be the biggest endeavor. It's so much better through this corner than the McLaren though. So much more stable. Hey, that kind of worked out. Alright, I'm going to try and hug the inside the whole way. And not go off the damn track. Ugh. I'm close to being in the 146s, that's something. It's not much, admittedly. But it's something. My kingdom to go back to Brands Hatch. I might do that, just like end it on a high note, go back to Alton or Brands. And just fire off some competent laps. Oh man, that understeer there. I still get little bouts of mid-corner understeer, like the dampers are bouncing me out or something. It's not absorbing the bump seamlessly. is what it comes down to. Admittedly, this is just like a stock setup, so you would not expect it to. Welcome back, guys. I hear the stream just dropped out again. Don't know what that's about. Maybe my internet's having a rough time of it. Alright, well, I'm getting into the lower 147s. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. I'm also going to drop my right pressures. If Tortellini is indeed correct, which I assume he is, I'm going to drop the rights down by about 2. Keep the car in between 27.3 and 27.7. I mean, Cody, I can recommend it. ACC is probably the most well-integrated, most well-packaged GT3 sim currently out there. You pay for the product. You don't need any mods. You don't need any aftermarket stuff. You just get a bunch of equally tiered content, a bunch of laser scan tracks, really high quality, really awesome, and it all just drives at the same level, which is a really good gateway into sim racing. I do wonder if I should go stiffer on the rears than the fronts. I mean, the default setup had the fronts way stiffer. I don't know what they were trying to stabilize, but it's possible the front sway bar needs to go down even more. Might try that, actually. I'm going to do a quick blast out there, and then I'm going to do the 100 AI race, if it's good. See how this goes. Limit myself with the fuel tank so I can't drive too long. Magilla, that is a bet that you're gonna most certainly win. This ain't no Spa. I'm not gonna be doing like 217s straight. God, I still can't believe we got into the mid 216s. That's so awesome. Wouldn't have imagined I'd get a PB on a stream. Alright, car's rotating better now. That made the difference. I need to not go out that far there. I'm too used to R-Factor and maximizing the track. In R-Factor, curbs are more of just like a nuisance. They're not really something you really have to worry about. The dampers feel like they need work though, I'll say that much. You get those times where you feel like a car effortlessly just absorbs everything on a track. This is not one of those times. I'm guessing you don't want to travel out any further than that there. There's probably not much point to it. Akil, thank you, mate. I've been secretly into ACC for a while. It's been getting more and more integrated. So behind the scenes, I've kind of taken to it almost like my main sim. I'm still trying to get the ins and outs here and there, but for me, it's more about learning some tracks that I just always gave a wide berth to, you know? Snetterton is definitely the worst. It's the one I know the least, even less than Barcelona. Silverstone probably follows, and Kyalami after that. What am I doing? I'm caught up in my own little conversation in my head. Sorry about that, guys. I'm actually not sure if this setup is any better or not, based on the fact that I'm driving like a moron. But yeah, these practice streams are kind of a chance for me to patch those holes in my knowledge. I feel really good with where we left Spa just before. If I can get all the other tracks up until that standard, that'd be great, especially Silverstone. Not having much luck with this setup, am I? Alright, try and drive well. That might help. Waiting to get on the power at Snet is like one of the most painful things ever. No, no. This is, I think this is the 1 AM effect that you're witnessing right here. I'm just losing it. All my brain is thinking about is fluffy clouds and beds rather than apexes. Alright, before I total out completely, I will save this. It feels like it should be quicker. I'm going to do a quick calculation for a 20-minute race. ACC strategists continuously taunting me. They're like, yeah, average lap here is 146 flat. Clearly. And I'm here struggling in the 147s. I felt like that about Brands Hatch, where I think its average lap time was like in the high 123s or something like that. And then once I finally got Brands Hatch down and started lapping in the 122s, I'm like, pfft, 123, shh. Cool. Calculator reckons 36 liters. We'll do it. Magilla, in terms of whether I ever do races, I do. Well, at least we used to in the simracing.gp community that everyone's welcome to, by the way. The links are down in the description below if you want to apply. I do need to check the applicants list, though. I haven't done that in ages. So we used to run races, but only about a third of all the people that would apply to each race would show up, and that was hugely demoralizing for everybody that did show up, and I really wasn't a fan of the way that people weren't taking it seriously, so I stopped. Because it's a lot of work on our behalf. Like, I have other things I could be doing with my time that are more, you know, productive than hosting races for people that don't think they, you know, should show up when they sign up for the races. So now I just do races with the Legends tier members of the channel. I'll be doing one a month. because I know those guys are going to take things a lot more seriously, and there's going to be a lot of mutual respect between us. So yeah, there'll be subscriber races with the Legends tier guys that I'll be running on a semi-regular basis. I look forward to those. DD1 wheel settings, you mean for ACC? Cowboy, this isn't training prep for any league race. It's just general training and prep. I kind of do this whenever I have spare time. I'll just pick a track and a car and just try to get better. Just try to learn. It's one of the most fun things about sim racing to me is just walking out the next day a little more knowledgeable about something, a little better at something. The camera still hasn't frozen. It's been like 3 hours. That's so great. I can't believe it. It's back. So, yeah, the DD1 settings for ACC. I can tell you what I'm running right now. So, let's run through it. Steering angle, I run at 720, but you could just run it at 900. The game will auto-align it to whatever car you're driving, as long as you match it to the in-game setting. So 900 in-game, 900 on the base. Force feedback, currently on the Formula V2, I only run it at 28, and the reason for that is it's a small rim and the forces get transferred very viscerally. Also, the fact that I'm running my linearity off, which means you're going to get a lot of transient forces going to try and rip your arms off, and the damping is going to be quite heavy. If you turn the linearity on, you can basically jack it up to 40 or so and get the same forces out of it. Natural damper is at 15, and everything else is pretty much at 0. Interpolation, I run at 1 or 2, depending on the car. But the less interpolation, the less latency on the signal, the more you can catch slides and fun stuff like that. So, hope that helps. Yeah, it's a weird track outline, isn't it? Alright, let's get this out of the way. I'm curious how this goes. It started off okay last time and then ended not okay.
Staying double file.
I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more for myself. Get into it. You know, because it's 1 AM and that's what the neighbors want to hear. Flashes are strong on the Lambo. What happens when I stop being the least knowledgeable sim racing channel? I don't think we're in danger of that happening anytime soon, so I don't like to think that far into the future, if I'm honest. So I'm pretty content with my title. Though Renee from my team has told me that I should rebrand to the worst sim racing channel. I think there's some merit in that. So that might be the next step that I achieve. Come on.
Green light. Give me the one kill. Car on the left. 3 wide.
I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna get murdered by the AI here.
Left.
Yep, there it is.
Clear.
Just casually hopping over that inside curb. Alright, didn't get murdered too hard. It's always fun out of the Lambo because you can't see a thing.
Car on the right.
Hey.
Clear on the right.
Not cool. Those Audi drivers. Oh no.
Car on the left.
I may have hit the
Clear
brake
wide.
too late. I'm literally
on the left.
driving. I literally drove on the radar there. I wasn't looking at the track, I was looking at the radar. Oh god, why would you slow down so much?
Clear on the right. Car on the left.
How are you 100
wide.
strength AI?
All clear. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Man, how is this 100 strength? In one lap, or half a lap, I went from 9th to 3rd. And I'm a pleb, I suck. Like, I really suck. Like, you can tell I suck. Oh, man. Why does he get oversteer? I don't get oversteer. I don't get to actually turn into the turns. I want to turn into the turns too. Maybe I can be more aggressive on the anti-cut. He seems to kind of half go over it. Still feel like I'm not quite rotating as well as I should. I'm gonna drop the TC back slightly. Alright, so far keeping up okay. I think TC at 2 probably makes a bit more sense, yeah. Ooh. Don't even worry about it. I could see that flying in my rearview mirror. That was awesome. That was kind of cool. Woo! Magilla, I swear I'm not playing you. Honestly, even if I get the Audi, there's no chance I'll get the AMG. AMG can like fly over all the curbs. I'm not sandbagging during practice, I promise. I legitimately do suck this much. That was not the racing line you were after him. It was not. Alright, okay. An in-race lap in the mid-147s is probably better than I could have hoped for. I'm not sure if I should drop a gear there. Ooh, don't bounce off the rev limiter. Here's where it becomes a little more struggly. When we open up the field, they get a bit of extra space and I find out how much I actually suck. That is going to be the corner that's going to always take me the longest to get. Oh man, the leader is like doing 146.7. I can't, that's not my pace. I can't do that. There's no chance I'm winning this. It'll be a minor miracle if I hold on to third. I mean, much of it is definitely my driving, but there's still some room for the car setup. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Ooh. Man, I've got to say, of all the things I didn't expect, that is right up there, guys. Probably not the note I wanted to end the stream on, but that's probably the extent of what I'm capable of at 1:30 AM right now. Oof. Yeah, that sucked. I have no idea what happened there. Hey Universe, how you doing? You've caught us just in time for me to end the stream. Well, that was good. I feel like, as much as it is a weird note to end on, I feel like I've learned some stuff about Snetterton I can apply in future races and hopefully come back and do this a little bit better next time. So, thank you guys for joining in and hanging around, some of you for 3 hours. Thanks to, you know, everybody for popping in. Mr. David Petard for dropping by as well. I look forward to revisiting this when I'm a little bit more clear-headed and can actually get something out of it. So, again, until the next stream, thank you guys very much, and I'll see you later.